I'm FedoraG4mer, and it's time for another installment of Kickin It, the series where I showcase games that are on Kickstarter. Today we are going to be looking at Planet Explorers by Pathia Games. It is on Kickstarter right now with 19 days left in its Kickstarter campaign, and they are right about 47% of their $100,000 goal, so it's pretty well on track for getting funded actually. I didn't really think I was going to be doing another installment of this so soon, but more and more games are showing up on Kickstarter with something that's playable, which is really nice. It's a lot safer bets that way. When there's something playable, there's a lot less chance of it just disappearing into vaporware. So, as saying that, you can get the alpha version of this, which I have running right here on the Kickstarter, and play it for free. Now, I will note this is a very early alpha, alpha version 0.53. So this is not a very good picture of what the game could end up being. It is alpha, anything can and possibly will change. Just get that disclaimer out of the way. Okay, so what is Planet Explorers? Well, it is a open sandbox, voxel based RPG and builder and all that sorts of thing. There's going to be a lot of references to Minecraft and comparisons to Minecraft in this video, but it is distinctly different as well. It will be launching with single player and multiplayer, with multiplayer servers available with many different kinds of multiplayer their Kickstarter has talked about, not just open world build stuff, whatnot. Some competitive things, capture a flag type stuff, a lot of interesting things they plan on adding, but it is not in the alpha yet. And in single player, you have story, adventure, and build mode. Story mode is a predefined world, pre-made, with a story and quests, side quests, progression, all of that. Adventure mode is open world and procedurally generated worlds, such as Minecraft, based off of seeding. And build is build mode, no enemies, just infinite resources and I believe procedurally generated world. But we will go ahead and jump into story. Actually, I want to show you the character creation first. I won't actually. Now that's creative mode, not what I wanted. I'll show you a little bit about that here later in the video. There is a lot to this game, is all I can say. Oh, story for new. If you like character creation with lots of sliders, you're going to love this. There is lots of sliders. It is kind of creepy, really close up, I'm going to be honest. There is a lot of customization here, more akin to what you would see in an MMORPG, except for hairstyles. They really need more hairstyles. But again, this is alpha, but I'm not going to actually make a new character. Just want to show you the powerful character creation, customization. It's powerful in some ways, lax in other ways, but it's pretty good, and considering this is only an alpha anyway. So we'll go ahead and get into the game. I started. Loading time's a little bad. It's not great. It's loading in Giant World. It's not terrible, though. Okay, come on. You can do it. There we go. And it's storming again. God, it rains a lot in this game. Okay, what you'll first notice is I said it's voxel based, but it's not all cubes, right? Well, voxels don't actually have to be cubes. It's like a smooth voxel. They smooth between the different blocks. It's kind of hard to explain, so I will show you in some building here. Let's go to... Actually, no. I don't want to use those. I got plenty of dirt blocks. There's some serious frame rate and lag when you're switching between stuff. It generally needs a lot of optimization. My computer's not the greatest either. The thing interesting about this is cube-based, but there can be partial cubes. See where it sinks in? That's because the block there is only a partial block. You can't actually do that willingly when you're building, but we'll just build. And you see how it moves around to connect with the other blocks? Then we'll finish off that partial block and build a full block. Another partial, then another full on top of it. And it always just moves along the edges. You don't end up with a blocky world. It also has some much more advanced mechanics for building that are quite helpful actually than say Minecraft does. I believe you can draw a line and build them all in one shot. But then you're running into that partial block, so you get a base layer down. You can draw a line, then hit shift and build up. Bam, instant wall. Isn't that so much faster? Let's build a really tall wall here. So yeah, the building mechanics are actually quite a bit more, I can't see any higher than that, so quite a bit more advanced, which would make building large structures a lot faster. Now that wasn't exactly straight, but bam, there's a wall. It's a massive dirt wall. Quite impressive. I haven't really messed around with the building too much yet. The story mode actually doesn't focus a whole lot on the building. I believe it does a little later, but I have dumped a lot of time into this game. I haven't made any videos the last 3 days because I've been playing just this pretty much. So that's my fault. Okay, let's get a gun on here. There is some nasty monster over there that is pretty terrible. I'm going to take care of it before it sneaks up on me. It is a fire bear, which shoots fire that does a lot of damage. This is sci-fi, guns and swords. Okay, good. I have a really strong gun, so it didn't take long to take care of that guy. Oh wait, that wasn't actually a fire bear. Yep. Combat is pretty basic, really, but it's still an alpha, so it might get fleshed out a bit more. Gather some stuff. It's very open world. There's a storyline you follow, and you unlock new things you can create, and new scripts, as they're called in this game. To make something, you need the recipe, which they call scripts in this game, because there is quite a bit of crafting in this game. Here's the crafting list. It's not some weird put blocks in. It's just recipes. Then you have if you have the materials, you make it, and I don't know what that thing is, so I'm going to kill it. And of course, like any game like this, you would expect a lot of resource gathering. I'll stick on my axe here. And everything, you can see this is pretty amazing looking alien plant life on this planet you're exploring, which is the basis of the game. You're exploring a planet. The storyline is humans messed up Earth. It's terrible, polluted, the inevitable that we all know will happen eventually anyway. They go out into space to find a new world to colonize. They find this planet. When trying to land, they run into something and crash land. So there's a bunch of life escape pods land all over the place, and you're pretty much trying to gather up the survivors and start colonizing and survive the nasty things that are on this planet. There are some nasty things on this planet. And it's all about a lot of survival. You can die quite easily in this game. A lot of resource gathering, which is quite interesting when you're using the smooth voxel based system, which I'll show you here. Like, I'll do some mining, digging, and as a shave of the block you're picking on gets taken away, it smooths around it with the other blocks, so it's much more kind of natural feeling. You end up sinking down quite quickly though. And I'm just getting dirt blocks, which is not really that useful, but still. There is no kind of durability on the tools, so you can use them as much as you want. I'm probably not going to be able to get out of this hole. I had to dig my way out of this hole. Oh, I can get out. And as you see, every few picks, when it actually destroys an entire block, you get a number of the resources. The better picks you have, the more resources you'll get. Here, I'll bust out my sword here. Very basic combat, as I said. Not too impressive, but it's like a Minecraft. Its combat is nothing to shout it from the rooftops about. So these monkey guys are actually friendly, or passive. Unless you attack one, then the rest of them start throwing rocks at you, which can destroy you quite quickly. Oh, that's a branch. I thought that was a monster over there. There's some giant huge things in this game that are pretty nasty and you want to take out from a range with a gun. So I think I'll show you that's another one of those guys. The other very interesting thing about this game, which is creation mode. Not only can you build structures with resources, but you can make your own swords, guns, and vehicles, which I am not a very creative person. This sword looks terrible because I made it myself. I call it a death fork, but I will show you that. Nope, wrong button. This is the creation mode. Sword, gun, small vehicles, and large vehicles. And then you can actually save them and share what you create with other people. When you make it in here, let me open this is one I downloaded from the website, the forums that somebody had created. They made a sword, Morning Star, which is quite interesting looking. But you can build whatever you want in here and save the ISO file. But if you want to actually get in the game, it'll tell you what it costs to import it. Then you import it into the game and bam, it's in your bag. But it costs the resources to make it. And as I said, I'm not a very creative person, so my creations are pretty terrible. Like, I'll show you my gun. Very, very basic gun. It shoots things. This does definitely need some balancing though, because once you learn how the creation mode calculates the damage and the attributes of the item, you can very much abuse it. It makes some extremely powerful weapons. Like this gun is quite powerful. Then again, it burns through ammo like crazy, so I have to do a lot of mining for copper and iron to keep myself in bullets, so I guess that's the balance. But still, I believe it'll be tweaked to make it less abusable, because, like, that sword. Swords are kind of based on surface area that has an edge. So this Morning Star has all these spikes, a lot of surface area, so it has a lot of attack. Really kind of overpowered. But then again, a lot of stuff in this game, if you actually let it get within melee range of you, it'll kill you in 1 or 2 hits. So swords are really just best used for the little things to save on ammo. So I'm not too creative. I have a vehicle. I'll show you it. I call it the derp car because it is very derpy. Hey, it's got wheels, engine, seat, and a giant ass cannon. What more do you need? Really, you don't need much more. I'll actually show you that in game. I've actually imported that into the game. One thing I will say is that I will not go the direction of something that's aggressive, because last time I did that, it destroyed my car very quickly. Then again, that car was made of wood, which probably wasn't a good idea in the first place. But anyway, let's get it out here. Anyway, one thing I will say is the driving controls are pretty terrible and awkward. I have seen the developers say on the forums that it is pretty much just a placeholder. Oh, my head sticks through the roof. I've never actually tried to drive this thing, so I don't remember. Yeah, driving's weird. It doesn't use WSD like you would expect it to. Shoot that guy. Come on, shoot him. This cannon is actually a turret that's made for base defenses, but you can actually slap it on your vehicles. Oh, it's going to kill me like this. Yep, that destroyed my vehicle. Jeez, no, it didn't destroy his vehicle, it just destroyed me. I have a revival thing, so... Jeez, this thing does a lot of damage. I guess those nasty claws would tend to do that. Oh, what is going on here? Don't follow me. The NPCs just like went completely batshit crazy. Yay for physics bugs. I'm not gonna try to drive anymore. I haven't figured out the driving. Something about mouse instead of WASD, and it just doesn't turn very well. I can go straight, and that's about it. Anyway, that'll be changed in a future build. I'm gonna leave the car there and see if I get some more flying NPCs. The NPCs actually have some voice acting for the story quest, which isn't actually all that bad. Not cringeworthy. I have actually seen worse voice acting in AAA titles. So it's actually pretty decent for a little indie company's voice acting. Some of it's not great, some of it's passable. It's not nothing stellar, but it's not doesn't destroy the game with terrible voice acting, at least. Another thing I dislike is like every time you switch back to your gun, you gotta go and re-equip your ammo. Let's go ahead and go try to find some of the interesting creatures on this planet. Quite a few alien life forms. Oh, there is a fire bear. Kill it before it kills me. Dodge the fire because it does a lot of damage. Die. Okay. Those are pretty much one of the nastiest things I've run into so far. Everything on this planet is pretty much like a alien dinosaur. Ooh, my stamina's really low. You have stamina you gotta worry about. So, heal up a little bit too. Those little guys are aggressive, but they're not very much to worry about. As I said, switching and equipping weapons, I get some pretty bad frame rate drops. My computer's not the greatest, so that's probably a part to do with it. But this game could also really use some optimization, but it is a very early alpha. The fact that anything's playable this early in development is amazing in and of itself. Okay, but that way you can also play in first person. I don't tend to because some control things have gone really wonky on me in first person. Again, this is alpha, so there is a lot of bugs. It's amazingly playable still, but there is quite a few bugs I've ran into. Well, you saw the flying NPCs, which that's a first for me, which is quite entertaining. I'm glad I got that on video. Flying alien corpse and NPCs. Ooh, those things are really nasty too. If they get close to you, they have like an ice breath that will, well, it destroys me in like one hit. So it's good to have a really strong gun to deal with the nasty things from distance. Ah, these giant like turtle rhinoceros things. They are actually look really a lot nastier than they are. They are quite easy to kill compared to other things that size. As you'll see, I'm picking up stuff. Bones I haven't found a use for yet. Animal fat used in making torches and campfires, and meat, which are used in some of the food recipes, but it is primarily the currency of this game. You can trade, every NPC can trade, and they trade for meat. I mean, who doesn't want giant alien dinosaur steaks, right? I would eat me some of that. So meat is the general currency, because who doesn't like steak? So that's why I like these guys. They're easy to kill and give a lot of meat. So these guys are the cash cows right here. Sometimes it's a little wonky finding the place to actually loot them. You right click to loot and there we go. Give me your meat. Meat. Oh, I don't like these things. There's these like baboons from hell. They aren't too bad by themselves, but you can find giant packs of them that will just completely overwhelm you. I have died to them more than anything else. These guys, if you have a good gun, aren't much of a threat. The first time I saw them, I had a bow, and I was like, oh, they might not be too dangerous. I'll take them out from range. They spit, and the spit does a lot of damage. But if you have a good gun, you can actually take them out before they even have a chance to spit at you, which is by far the preferred method of doing things. I got destroyed by these the first time I found them. As you've seen, there are some very large creatures, but there's some much larger ones farther into the game map, which is rather large. Nope, another one of those hell baboons. Take care of it before it becomes a problem. A lot of the rhinoceros guys around, which normally I like, but I've already killed a few of them, so I'm not going to mess with them very much. It'll be much faster. More of them. You will find them attacking all the. Oh, that's a fire bear, a big one. No, that's not. It's something else that's very nasty if it gets to you, though. A lot of these things are very big threats, as you'd imagine, since they're much larger than you. If they get to you, they will stomp you into a bloody puddle. So it's very much recommended to take them out from range. And so this is pretty much what it is. I'm not going to worry about any of the storyline quests. You can see some more of the cool, the very, very awesome plants in this game. No, I'm staying away from that guy. Those things, you can actually chop them down. They're huge. You can chop them down. It takes forever to do it, but you can do it. All this stuff gives, most of these things give wood, and some give other plant, like plant fiber and other kinds of resources. There's a lot of different resources in the game. As for the main ones you use for making your weapons stuff out of, it goes up to diamond, but there is plan to put in a lot more resources. The game, I saw the developer mention uranium, so apparently we'll be able to make nuclear weapons. It is sci-fi right now. The highest weapons go up to just normal bullet weapons, but they did say it will be increasing for what you can create with a lot of more type sci-fi weapons, energy weapons. So again, this is very early alpha, and there's quite a bit of content as it is, but there is a lot more content being planned to be added, including the multiplayer mode, which will have a lot of variety in it in itself. So I really like the plants. They are very cool looking. Some of them are actually quite creepy looking. I'm not finding any interesting creatures. It's all pretty random spawn. I'm not finding any of the massive ones yet, which might be good. You'd probably just see me die. And so in creation mode, you only have two different kind of muzzles, and you have to have the handles, which are predefined templates, and muzzles, which pretty much just tells the game where your character is holding it. Nope, hello. And where it's firing from, which you can have actually up to 4 muzzles on a gun, which burns through ammo ridiculously quick, as you would think. Yeah, you can have 4 automatic muzzles, and you will eat through ammo. You will tear through most of the dino aliens, but you will burn through ammo ridiculously quick, and you will find yourself mining a lot. By the way, if you see that light in front of me and that goofy thing on the side of my head, it's because I have a headlamp, which you get early in the game, and it's very useful. Oh, but now one of those guys. Die before you kill me, please. This one is huge. You'll find a lot of the same creatures in different sizes. Of course, the larger ones are stronger and have more health. So the larger ones also drop a lot more meat, because meat is money. What do we see? What's going on over here? Oh, he's eating one of these little Stegosaurus guys are passive. You attack them, they just run away, so they're pretty much easy prey. But because of that, they don't really give you very much meat, so they're not really worth bullets. And they're not worth my time to smack them with a sword and chase them down as they run away. Oh, crazy baboon guy. Yeah, I really hate these things. They are creepy looking. When you have an entire pack of them on you, it is just terrifying. I believe they're called hell wolves, which I don't know why. They look like baboons, but some of the names of the creatures don't make a whole lot of sense based on what they look like. Turtle rhino, that's what I call these. Or turtle triceratops. They all look very dinosaur-y. There's apparently sentient races of aliens you will encounter later in the story. Don't know if they're good or bad or anything like that, but I don't know if that's even in yet. It was just in the description, but I don't know how far the story mode actually goes before it's not completely finished yet, because again, this is a very early alpha build. I think I've shown you about what there is of this game without touching on the story. You can find out yourself. It is just a very big world. There's a world map. You can fast travel to different points. Like I'll go over here to my mining area. It costs you meat to fast travel. Not much, but it costs you a little bit, so but I guess that's something. Again, you'll get another terrible loading time though. Thankfully, once you get into the game, besides fast traveling, you don't actually see any loading. So it's big open world, loads in chunks. There's different biomes. There's a forest biome that I've seen. I haven't ventured too deeply into it because it's kind of scary. There's a lot of those crazy baboon guys in there. This is the Meteor Crater, which is the mining area. There's a lot of iron. These are deposits of iron. These deposits of copper. There's actually some silver spread around in here somewhere. There's also in this map they do say I've seen people say they found diamonds, and the devs have said people have found gold, and the devs have said there's diamonds in the map somewhere, but you don't see them on the surface, so you will do a lot of digging to try to find some diamonds. No one's come up and said they've actually found them yet. We'll do some mining. There's not a whole lot of underground stuff in this game yet. They said caves are coming. There's some like shallow cave systems where these crab guys only come out at night, hide during the day. And you can dig yourself tunnels, but it's much slower than it would be in Minecraft to try to dig out a massive tunnel system. So I don't know if that's going to be as big of a thing. So far it's mostly above ground, overworld type gameplay. I don't want dirt. Give me some iron. I need more bullets anyway. This is a pretty big iron patch actually. I can't talk now. As for criticisms of the game, I'm not going to give a whole lot since this is still very early alpha, but I would say the story mode has some pacing issues. It is pretty slow off and a long time before it starts actually to build any structures, which is something that this game should be pretty much based around. I believe, because soon in the storyline I'll be going and making a new essential base of operation to get all the survivors too, so I believe that's where I'll have me building things. But I have put a lot of time into this game, and it's still not really asked me to build structures yet, so and it's pretty slow in between getting the upgrades and such, so I really think they should look at the pacing somewhat. Graphically, the animations aren't, graphically I'm not going to say much. I mean, graphically Minecraft is shit. Graphically, I know it's an aesthetic style, and don't get me wrong, I actually played a lot of Minecraft. I like Minecraft, and I like the aesthetic style of it, but there's no way you can actually say the graphics are good. So really, these games are about the openness, what you can create, the pretty much the creativity and sharing what you've created, which this game is going to do very well with the entire creation of vehicles and stuff. People on the forums have made crazy swords, guns, and vehicles. Someone's made the buggy from Borderlands, which looks pretty amazing, actually. I've seen the gun blade from Final Fantasy X, which is pretty awesome, too. The bad thing is, by how the creation system's calculation of the stats of the item is making cool stuff like that doesn't make the strongest weapons. I really think they should cap the damage on weapons based on the material at a certain point, so you're not forced into making something a certain way just to min-max and get the strongest weapon you can have. So there should be a cap based on the materials you're using. The caps out before you may have to make a giant, very spiky sword to make the max you can for the damage. So, because it really kills the creativity if you want something that actually functions well in the game. Sorry, I need a drink. But, balancing is something that will come in time. There's a lot of it that needs to be done. As I say, you can make ridiculously powerful guns that can chew through any of the enemies quite quickly. I can make the gun I have much more powerful by slapping some more barrels on it and shoot like 200 rounds a second, which would take a lot of mining. As you can see, I do a lot of mining to keep myself in ammo. That is actually where a lot of my time has gone in this game. So, I don't know, I think they should balance the ammo consumption, but reduce the maximum damage you can get from weapons, so you're not having to spend so much time getting ammo. So make it fire slower, but stronger, but cap it out so you're not making ridiculous weapons, but they're bullet hoses pretty much. So it can use a lot of balancing, and I'm really looking forward to what you can do with the multiplayer in this game. Using each other's vehicles. I saw them on a video the devs made like a racetrack, and everyone had a custom vehicle in there they were racing on, so that's pretty cool. They are talking about releasing a world editor so you can make your own predefined worlds instead of it being randomly generated and then put that on a persistent server. So there'll be a lot of cool stuff here. As for the crafting goes, it's not a whole lot of resources available yet, all the way up to diamond. You got dirt, wood, limestone, marble, iron, steel, silver, gold, and diamonds. There's going to be platinum, I know that, but there's going to be much higher things. So there's a lot of content that's going to be added still. But there's an amazing amount of content in this game for it being a free alpha that you can go download and play. It's a hefty download at 1.5 gigs, but it's worthy. Go download it. Go check out their Kickstarter. I'll have the link in the description. And that's been Planet Explorers. It's a pretty amazing game. I'm very much looking forward to watching this flesh out. So go check out the Kickstarter. If you like what you see, back these guys. They are making an awesome game here. And thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. I'll see you next time.